knowing that Haley would just go on Amazon and find them and be like, yeah, they're right here, dude. So
Exactly.
now we got those everywhere. It's wonderful. Oh, it's time to do it.
We're already live, bro.
Are we?
I rolled in. It's Thursday nights. We don't wear pink on Wednesdays. We talk about
we don't wear
karate
pink on Thursdays?
No, we talk about karate on Thursdays.
Oh, I want to wear pink.
And
I don't want anything pink.
Me neither. I'm not opposed to wearing pink, but I don't.
I am. I just don't like the color.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I'll do green. You know, like obviously fluorescent green and yellow, but pink just. I don't know. It's not my thing.
Yeah, we'll do toe socks. We'll not do pink.
I have pink toe socks though.
You have pink toe socks, so
I have pink socks. Yeah.
Oh, so
but that's just out of necessity because I try to buy as many different color socks as I can because it's easier to match them up that way. Dude, it's a complex life. It is a complex life.
Right. It doesn't seem very complex. It seems like there's just somewhat gremlin rules that apply.
Yes, there's lots of rules. Yeah,
like don't let Dean eat after midnight. Don't
9 o'clock. But
not 9 o'clock. So see, it's just a little bit different.
Yeah, no food after 9. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hey. Sometimes that's the way it is.
That is the way it is. So how are you doing today?
Doing good. How about you? Doing great.
Yeah?
I got the Trooper fix last weekend.
What was wrong with it?
Yeah, torque converter.
Oh.
So we had to pull the
harmonic balancer, huh?
Dude, I wish it was a harmonic balancer. So my buddy has a lift. Odell, he was kind enough to help me out, and we spent 10 hours working on that thing that day.
Oh yeah, I don't doubt it.
It was not fun. It was not fun.
No, I wouldn't even know where to begin. I don't even know what a torque converter is.
It's the part that connects the transmission to the engine and makes the power. So yeah, it was not fun. Not fun.
So did you have to drop the engine, or did you have to drop?
We had to drop the transmission, the transfer case, and every stinking thing that's hooked up to it. It was absurd. So originally he didn't know it was a 4-wheel drive because he had done one. He's done several, but he's done one on a Trooper of this year.
Right.
But it was a 2-wheel drive.
Ah.
And I went up there on a Sunday. We were going to do it then. He said it's like a 6-hour job. Well, once he found out it was a 4-wheel drive, I was like, no, that's like an 11-hour job. So, yeah, busted some knuckles, got grease everywhere, transmission fluid. Good times.
Man, I don't know. If I had 11 hours, it wouldn't be to do that.
Right. I should just worked 11 hours and then paid someone to do it.
That's basically how I feel about shit like that.
Right.
It's like, how much is it? Okay, yeah, here.
Yeah.
I get it. I get the joy of
right. But that went beyond joy. Like I like doing, I'll do medium-sized jobs and I like working on them and stuff.
Yeah.
But this we crossed the threshold on this where it's like, yeah, this isn't fun. We just got to get it done.
Yeah. Oh, I think you'd crush that. That would have been at like hour or 15 minutes.
Right. And so we had to take the whole exhaust off besides the very back part. And yeah.
Wow.
Not good times.
Ooh, no, I'm good. No.
Yeah. So hopefully we don't. If that happens again, guess what? Trooper's dead, man. Trooper's dead to me.
Yeah. No, I understand. Yeah. Screw that, man. There's just no way. God bless you.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is my car that I drive. So my buddy, like, I was like, I owe you a life debt now. Like, next time you have to
no shit. Like,
next time you have to do a really shitty job, call me and I'll spend 12 hours with you out here doing it. But then we're even because I'm never doing it again.
Yeah. That's and it's funny too because like we'll be working on a car and because that's what we do. I know, it's crazy. And you're at that point where it's like you realize, and that's my problem, is that I've been doing this so long. I can look at something and I know how long it's going to take. And in my mind, I'm going, ugh. I know how long this is gonna take, and it's like sometimes I just go, I don't want to do this.
How often do Paul's expectations of what it should take line up with you knowing what it's going to take? Pretty often?
So like he usually gets us with the basic shit.
Yeah.
He'll be like, oh, this won't take that long, and I'll be like, it's gonna take forever. And mainly it's just because at that point I don't want to do it, because I'm
Yeah.
just like tired of and he'll be like, I'll be, and he'll, now he knows it just irritates me to say, you'll have it done in like 4 hours, man. Just,
Yeah.
and I'm like, shut
Yeah.
up. And then we'll like have it done in like 3.5.
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, and he'll be like, see, I told you. I was like, and I'll be like, shut up.
Are you ever in a situation where like you put in like a bunch of, just say some Brazilian amp or Brazilian clone,
Okay,
pro speakers, mids, subwoofers, maybe multiples of some sort, and you're in the position where you got to tune it? Like they want you to tune it, like actually tune it, not just adjust the gain knob. But
yeah. Like with the DSP.
Right.
Yeah, we've done that.
Is it
I'll
like?
do
Is
that.
it rare? Is it rare though, or
Yeah.
is it?
Yeah. No, it's rare. It's rare. Yeah, no, because that's not typically our client. Jeff's done that a bunch because one of the dealers that he tunes cars for, they build a ton of that stuff.
Yeah.
And so he's really, I guess, versed in that genre.
He's adept at it. You can make them sound good. I mean,
or you can make it sound great, but that's usually not what they want.
Right, exactly.
That's not what they want, but the guys for us that have wanted us to do it, they don't want full stupid, but they also don't want it to sound like a set of Alpines. They want that half, half stupid,
half step way in there.
Yeah. Halfing. What's up, Jason?
What's up, Jason? Thank you.
For my current vehicle, the upgrade path was a head unit and then speakers, then subwoofers with additional amps to drive them.
We can talk about the poll. I have an in-chat poll here.
Okay, let's just jump right into it.
Yeah.
Crazy idea. Only 7 minutes in. Let's hit the poll.
Let's do it, man. It's weird. So we already have 40 votes. So that's pretty solid.
All right, it's time to jump into the poll then.
Right. What's the best upgrade? Just like the most vague thing I could do. What's the best 6.5? Basically. So the choices are DSP, amp, speakers, or subs.
Subs is always the winner. Subs is the winner. I mean, everyone always just wants
if you don't have
subs.
Anything. Yeah, if you don't have anything, I think subs are the best. If you already have something, DSP, speaker, DSP.
So here's the problem with the DSP add-on later. Okay, where's the poll at? We'll come back to that.
It's in the chat. Yeah.
Okay. So do we know what's winning?
DSP by 43% right now.
Really? Okay.
Subs in last place at 11.
Oh wow. So, and that's the thing. I could see that because I feel like more and more people are starting to get hip to the DSP game, but I think the problem is that they're confusing. We're still in that stage where I don't know if you remember flip down TVs, but when flip down TVs came out, everyone just assumed that every flip down TV was created equal. Not realizing that if you walk into any place that sells TVs, you have a good, better, best. Oh my God. And radios are the same way. So why DSPs wouldn't be? And so what they get excited about is whatever their favorite brand is, went over to China and bought a DSP.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they're selling it and they're thinking like, this is the best DSP ever. And it's like, no, it's not. No, it's not.
It's better than the one they had before, at least.
Yeah, which was nothing. Or just like somebody says, oh, this is the best, most powerful. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, as soon as you say that this right here is the best, you're talking out of your ass. Plain and simple. Because it's not. It's not.
Right.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I understand sales tactics. We all say them. These things are awesome.
Right.
When you say this is awesome, could very well be awesome. This thing is great, could very well be great. But when you say it is the best, that's like saying this, she's the best tennis player. She
Yeah.
is. Michael Jordan was one of the best basketball players. Okay.
Yeah.
And there's numbers to back this shit up. So when you're going to make that, when you're going to throw down that boom on the table and say, you're so full of shit.
Yeah.
Because your numbers can't back that crap up. I mean, you know it. You're just trying to be words like that.
Or
just,
you're a YouTuber like me, like trying to clickbait the hell out of someone, like make them mad.
And there again, and there, I totally can respect that. I can
Yeah.
totally respect that. But what I hate is like when people believe that.
Right.
It's like, why would you believe that?
Oh, I know. It's also weird, like when you just do a video and you have like your opinion on something, and then someone takes that context out of context and goes in Facebook and be like, "Hey, Dean said this was his favorite thing, so whatever you have sucks." It's like that's not what the video was about, bro. Like you took what you wanted to hear, and then you applied that to your flawed logic.
Which is fine because I get it. I mean,
it's Halloween.
There it is.
Hit us with the number.
Yeah. 777.
Yeah. And
just
then Baba
Scott's bad juju.
7 luck 3 sevens. That I think that's a good counter.
Yeah, it is. It is. 20 always wins though.
Yeah.
$20 is $20.
Right.
Anyway, so too. All right, let's go back to I want to add a DSP. So here is
that was also Mr. Burns-ish.
Yeah, I know, because I'm trying to think of the best. Yeah. I'm trying Smithers. I'm trying to think of the best way to say it that because it's all right. If you have a system in a car, all right, and you're used to like people don't like change. Can we all agree on that? Like people do not like change.
Yeah.
Like they all hate it. They don't want to do it. It's like, oh, I got to change. Oh, okay. So your system in your car, like I've seen people that like when somebody says, hey man, don't do that. They won't do it. And it's like, you'll walk out there and be like, and the first thing you do is, oh, what'd you do that for? I don't want to do that. You shouldn't do that. Yeah, but it sounds like crap. Watch. Yeah, I know it sounds better, but you're not supposed to do that. I'm like, who said that? Who said that?
There's unwritten
I don't
rules.
know. People
they're checking off boxes, man.
Yeah.
Like, this is like, what is said, and it's like I have to check these boxes.
So now you have this system in your car, all right, and you're like you've been listening to it for 6 months, and all of a sudden you decide to get a DSP, okay,
yeah.
Or you've had the DSP the whole time, but now you're just finally actually getting around to tuning it, and you're not going to tune it yourself. You're going to pay somebody else to do it, which is fine. But because obviously, and this is why the DIY guy inside of me that started doing this because I didn't want to. I enjoy the process that is learning and how to better myself. There are certain things as I get older, I'm more than happy to pay people to do. Just like you were talking about your transfer case. I ain't fucking doing that. No fucking way. But my hot water heater, which I know is like 3 wires and maybe 4 wires. If it's 220, I don't know. That's the thing. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I want to go. Does it work? I hear the bubbles. That's it. So if a guy wants an extra $200 to put it in, it's like that's just the cost of. I don't want to know. Okay. So I get when you pay someone to tune your stuff and do your installs. It's totally cool. I'm not knocking that one bit. Yeah, we'll have some at SEMA. We will be bringing some to SEMA. Yeah.
Nice.
We just can't. We have to sell them to you in the hotel lobby. We can't sell them to you on the SEMA floor because SEMA has a policy about.
Really?
Yeah, they're really weird about that. Like, it's not like you can transfer, like, do things, but like selling, I don't know, man. Someone really like, hey, whatever you do, just don't do that. I was like, that's fine. I'll just, somebody.
I got
just
some
meet me.
Raincoat. Step outside. What's up with the raincoat?
Yeah.
There's IRTA here. There's D
Well,
wire rulers
the really
right
cool
here.
thing is we're staying in the hotel attached to the
Yeah,
convention center, so they're right there.
yeah.
It's no big deal,
I
which
mean,
is
the
nice.
raincoat
But
thing,
anyways,
man. It'd be
so
sketchy and funny.
yes, totally. I like sketchy. So now you pay someone to tune it,
Yeah,
and this is where we get that 50-50. Like, you've been listening to it for months, sounding like Dookie, and it's
right.
either going to blow you away or you're going to be like, oh, I thought it was going to be different.
Yeah,
And it's like, what? How so? I don't know if I like time alignment. I've been used to it from coming over from here for so long. It's like, okay, well, why are you having me do this then? You know,
yeah,
why is everything coming out of the dash? It used to come out of the, okay. You know.
yeah.
So I don't know. It's always to me that hit or miss,
Hit or
because
miss. Yeah,
you know, like, we just got done doing this Dodge Ram this week where the guy had a two-way, had a 6 and a tweet, Morel hybrids, and he was like, I want to make it a three-way, and it's like, okay. And he's like, so I went and bought the sail panels for the factory tweeters, and so
right.
I want to put the tweeters from the dash into those, and then put a set of mid-range in the dash, and then add another amplifier. And of course, in my head, I'm like, oh, this is gonna suck, you know. So, you know, and then so you quote it and you forget, and then it shows up, and you're like, oh man, really?
Like, oh
Damn it!
damn, he decided to do it.
Yes, he decided to do it. You know, because if you think, so this is okay. So at this point, this is where a lot of you guys are gonna be like, what? At this point, to add 2 more speakers, and I told the guys, so listen, adding 2 more speakers to this car now that it's done, and all the work we're gonna have to do to move everything, and I mean, you're like $2,500 to put in 2 speakers.
Right.
And he's like, yeah, that's about what I thought.
Oh damn.
Damn it!
Yeah, you're
Damn
having to
it!
go back and redo a bunch of that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, dude,
I
you
mean, it's
literally have to move wires from the dash into the doors, and then you have to run new wires up to the dash, and then you have to rearrange RCAs and move speaker wires and add into the amp rack. And I mean, it was a 2-day job. I mean, it was a lot of work.
yeah.
And just like mounting big, Morel makes a big tweeter, so mounting a big tweeter where a small tweeter goes, it's like, slinging merch out the backpack in the men's room is bad look. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd do it, but I mean, whatever.
Right.
Yo, man, you want a wire
Yeah.
ruler? I got your wire ruler, and I got your
Right.
IRTA too.
Yeah, like slide your card. Where? Right here, bro. I got the
Yeah,
the reader under here. Just
Yeah. I got my little card reader. Dude, that thing is awesome. Dude, that is dude. I have run a million credit cards in my life, but something about holding your phone out and that money's just like, and you're just going, oh, that's my money now. It's like, wow.
I just stole that from you. I didn't, but technically.
No, I know. Trust me. My account's going, you need to sell more of those. I'm going, yeah, I know.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know that. So, but anyways, so that's the thing. Now, I'm all for buying a DSP. Like, someone said, they introduced me to the DSP, and it's like, I wanted to install my DSP in my car, dash to maintain a stealth install status. So any DSP that didn't fit automatically wasn't the best. All right. Now, this Brian's statement for me is fabulous. All right. And this is one of my pet peeves. Like this, I got a lot of them. Okay. So anyways, this is one of them. It's the easiest way. When you're deciding to do a stereo, okay, and you're searching and doing your research and searching, and then you just go buy, you just hit that buy button, and it shows up. And then you go, you know what? Now I think it's time to talk to a professional.
Yeah.
And then you show up with whatever spinny thing you have in your head, and you're like, hey, I want to do this in my car. And you're like, oh, that's great. Let's go take a look at your car. And you walk out of the car and you see all this equipment. And you're like, what is all this? Oh, this is what I want to do. And you're looking at it immediately, looking at it going, oh, this shit's going to fit. And but you don't. In your head, you say, okay, so what were you thinking about doing? Oh, I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to do this. And in your head, you're just looking at it going, why, no. Like, can you send all this shit back? Because then we could do that. But right as it stands, you know, where are we putting this? Oh, I
Yeah.
don't know. I figured you could hide it somewhere. Where?
You know,
Well, maybe
do your
right
thing.
there. Doesn't that panel come up? Yeah, and your exhaust pipe's underneath it. Oh, I didn't realize that. No shit. No shit.
You just
Yeah.
subscribed somebody in our chat.
Oh
This
yeah.
my good friend right here, Mr. Baba. This is his move 100%, and he knows it. This doesn't have nothing to do with the comment, but my guy Baba, he's
Oh yeah.
that guy. He'd be like, "Hey, what sub should I get?" Like, I think this sub. And then he goes with total opposite subs. Like, man, you'll never guess what happened. What?
Yeah, I will. I'll
He's
totally
like,
guess.
I'm not really happy with those subs. Like, Baba, we talked about this.
Yeah.
He's
Well, you know, and the problem is it's always like really expensive shit, and you're just like looking at them going, under the bus I go. Yeah. No, it's to me that's one of the things that drives me absolutely crazy. Now when they come and they have all this, and then they have a solid plan that is executable, I'm perfectly fine with that. Like I had a guy show up this week that had someone just like, holy shit, are you kidding me? Like, well, okay, spell it out for me. What do you want me to do? And he's like, all right, I know what you guys do, and I know what you're capable of doing, and I want you to do this, and this is what I want you to do. And he knew how we worked, and he knew how, and he goes, does that work for you? And I said, 100%. You've thought this out. This is perfect. We can make that happen. You know, he's like, cool. That's all I need. And I was like, all right, great. We'll do that.
This is a good question.
Does most DSPs come with mic for tuning? That is a big fat no.
Right,
actually,
my experience too. Very few of them do.
None of them come with a DSP for tuning or a microphone for tuning.
Besides the key, and it's an amp, DSP amp. It's not like
that's not. Yeah, it's not really DSP.
Right.
So the new JL Audio Tweak software. If you have a USB mic, you can use their software to do a tune. The Audio Dynamic, that guy supposedly has that. I haven't seen any part of that. The Helix, you can get a USB mic to do a tune. The Audison needs the bit 1 processor as of right now. I don't know if they're going to change. I think you're still going to need the bit 1 processor with the new 3.0 software. JL can use a basic USB mic, but obviously the Max tune is the better thing to use. It'll actually give you a real tune. The problem is that a basic microphone is only going to get you a basic tune.
Oh yeah.
And that's really how that plays out. We've done a lot of the basic tunes, and you sit in the car and you're like, this is deliverable? Oh yeah, it's 100% deliverable. And you're like, in what world?
Yeah.
Because I'm not delivering it like this. Well, it's a good place to start. So 0.
Yeah.
You know.
Right.
So, what's up, Fro? What's the biggest sub? I put in 8-inch.
Baba here's 18.
Yeah.
Bro, what's popping?
So that's kind of
I had a topic for tonight.
What is
it?
it?
So do you remember like back in the 90s they had a show that was called Hot or Not?
Yes.
Right. So I have car audio subjects, products, and I'm going to list them off, and then you can say hot or not, and maybe say why you think they are. We both can. Are you ready?
I love it. Let's do it.
All right. Let's start with our friends over at Kicker Q Class amps.
9 years old. I think they're hot.
Me too.
I think they're hot, and I like the beveled edge because I like the plain look. I think they were one of the first to really. Okay, they were one of the first to bring back that look,
right?
Because that look has
it's
been around
Alpine-esque.
Yeah,
I would say.
very. But what I liked, which was the most basic thing, is the logo. It's on magnets,
right?
So you can flip it any way you want.
And it was oh man, friends don't let friends buy bullet tweeters.
No doubt. And to the guy that was talking about like using REW software, if any of you guys are interested in REW software, it's a great room EQ wizard, basically what it is.
Yeah.
If you want to know more about it and you want to get a tool to use with it, Andy Waymeyer over at the Audio Frog site has white papers of his process on how to tune a car using REW and his mic. His mic is very reasonably priced. It's like $299.
Yeah.
It comes with a disc. It comes with everything you need. It's like the AMM1, I think is what it's called. It's solid. It's very solid. And if you follow his step-by-step process, you will not be disappointed. He makes it super cool. So for guys, it's like, I don't want you to know all this shit. I just want to follow something. Go check out Andy's stuff on Audio Frog. Okay.
I'll have to check that out. So let me pop this back up again because this was on the list. So Joaquin is on point. Bullet tweeters, hot or not?
99% of them are not.
Yeah.
The only ones that I actually like, and by like I mean I like to install in other people's cars. I would never own a pair. Are the Neo Magnet ones, like Hertz SPL shows.
Yeah,
those are pretty sexy. And then Bema makes a small one that looks like it has a little Hershey's Kiss sitting on top of it.
Yeah,
it's super sexy, and those actually sound really good.
So I wonder if we're gonna have one that disagree. Like the way people use bullet tweets generally, definitely not.
No, I mean if you're buying the rainbow candy,
right?
Horn.
Yeah, like right in your face, like 5 or 6 of them.
Yeah, stunt wall.
That's a bit much, but I'm big enough to admit I have heard some that I liked.
Well, I like the Neo tweeters because I mean you can really EQ the shit out of them and get a really nice sound. So yeah, it's nice. Everybody needs a DSP. Okay,
let's go with 4/0 cable.
Okay, I don't even like 0. Okay,
I know, right? That's I kind of understand.
Try to do this professionally, where you have these cars come in and it's like we're running 0 gauge, and you go, "Fuck you, we're running 0." Where are we running 0 gauge? The guy that's like, I ran 6 strands of 0 gauge through my one car that I've only ever worked on. I went to Home Depot and I bought 4-inch PVC that I put under it, and I made a tunnel. And it's like, okay, great. So you spent, in my world, you just spent $2,000 in labor. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Nobody's paying that. That's why you did it yourself, because you didn't want to pay me $2,000 to do it. So
yeah.
No, I don't want to run. Fuck no, man. I don't want to build a system that needs 4
dude, I don't even think that the guys, there might be, now I may be wrong, but even the guys that genuinely need 4/0 to run big SPL systems, I don't even think they like it that much.
No.
It's just like it's necessary.
I mean, trust me, I'm all about big ass power wire, but
yeah,
I'll stick with 4 gauge.
4/0 to my tweets.
Oh, always.
That's hardcore.
Yeah, because they're 4-inch.
Yeah. Let's see, Rob. Image Dynamics horns are nice. Those are different. Those are regular compression drivers with the horn loading. Bullet tweets are more small.
That's the other thing.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard them? Rob, have you heard them? Have you had a set in your car and had to live with them for like 2 years? Because that's my question. Because I did. And I could not wait to get them. I lived with them for 2 years. They gave them to me. This was years ago.
Did you bump your knees into them all the time?
Oh, no. It was a Dodge Ram. We had them in there perfect. I mean, we took 2 days to mount them. We did everything that they wanted us to do. And I sat there and I said, oh, kill me. Just kill me. But I didn't have any money to change them out because that's what they sent me. And it was the Image Dynamic mini horns with their mid bass in the door and their big giant passive crossovers with 200 dip switches in them. And I absolutely just fucking hated them.
Man, I've never owned any Image Dynamics horns, but I've heard a few systems with them that really sounded good. That's always different than having it in your system.
Yeah, it was 2 years of just I fucking hate this thing. Well, they sent me the 12, the horns, and the speakers. I bought 2 Alpine Expert 505 amplifiers, which I actually still have those.
Right.
And we built the system, and we're like, because they're like, you're gonna love these, you're gonna sell tons of horns, this is gonna be great. And we put it all in, we all sat in the car, and we're like, we're not gonna sell any of these. These sound fucking terrible, you know. And they're like,
Right.
what? I'm like, no, it's just, could I buy just a regular set of tweeters? Fucking God, kill me.
Yeah, just give me some regular ones.
Yeah.
All right. Next on the list, down slanted power terminals, not the cool ones that are straight with the slanted access for the hex nut, but the legit down slanted ones.
Look, man, we all know that shit. Okay.
Yeah. Who
We all
likes
know
it?
those
If
stuff.
somebody in the chat likes those, let me know. And then please kindly escort yourself out of the chat.
You know,
Because you don't belong here. You're not one of us.
there's a couple videos we've done in the past where we talked about them, because Rockford did that, Kicker did that.
Yeah.
And we talk about how we put the amplifiers on little 1/2 inch or 3/8 inch risers,
Right.
so that we can bend the wire. And then some dumbass always sits there and says, well, they're bent like that so you can run them into flush panels. And I'm like, no, they're not. What you're an idiot. Like, shut up. Dude, come on. Really? Like,
Yeah.
okay, so they're just assuming you're building a flush panel every time you're putting one of these cheap amplifiers in your car, these cost-effective amplifiers.
Yeah.
No, that is not the case.
Listen, Joaquin's right, though. That's why they slant them, though, right? Well, that's why they say they do.
That's why they say they
then?
do, but it's other horseshit. It's not.
Right.
It's just
cheaper or
stupid
something.
design.
Right.
But what's funny is now. So here's a funny one. When this was years ago, Audison flew us out to California. Flew out a ton of dealers. They used to do these trainings out there, and it was right before the Prima amplifiers were coming out. And this guy named Larry Penn, who actually runs MSC marketing, which is all Brax and Helix and Now and all that other stuff and Blam and all that. But at the time he advised for Audison, and they had came out with the Prima amplifiers, and all of them, the first run of them had those stupid down firing terminals. And like,
right.
Immediately he was like, nope, sorry,
pass,
send them all back.
Yeah.
And they changed the build of the amplifier, because it was like they immediately knew that, like, no, yeah, and they listened.
And shout out to the straight ones that have the slant screw terminals.
The slant screw terminals suck.
I like them because you
don't
have to go through the top.
You don't. You know why you don't? Because you put the wire in, you know, and you already got this long ass ferrule on there, and then you put the screw in, and then the tip of the ferrule, it hits it like right there.
Running it off, yeah.
It just, and then it pushes it out, and you're like, oh, it's one of these.
Yeah.
Oh, this is stupid. So it's like, here's the back of the wall, and then the screw hits it right there.
Yeah.
So it falls right out. So the ones that come straight down actually bite into the middle of the wire and hold it nice and tight. So listen, slants are not made for amplifiers, period. No.
I still listen. I like wire ferrules but on big gauge wire, they're hit and miss. They're not always gonna. Sometimes if you don't get good ferrules, I've had a bolt go straight through them, and then like, what was the point of this?
Well, now you found the deep dark secret of the wire ferrule.
Right.
The wire ferrule is not to make it easier to service. The wire ferrule is to, so what you're doing for us on an amplifier with the ferrule on a big wire is you're putting it over. So I'm sure you've seen plenty of guys that will jam a wire into the side of the amplifier. Right. And it's a hit or miss on whether all the little octopusy wires went in there. So when you put a ferrule on it, it guarantees that everything is going forward into the hole. And then there's the little sleeve over them, or heat shrink. And so now, when you tighten it up, if you over tighten it, which everyone's going to, you're going to poke a hole right through the top of it. But every piece of wire, it's still a safer connection in the sense that none of this other crap is anywhere around. Plus, when you're putting when you're still compressing the wire inside of the ferrule, and so it can't go anywhere, unlike a normal connection where it's just going to fan out inside of the hole and fill up all that space. So it's still a better connection. But there's Joy. it's a lot, man. It's a lot. And all the ferrule connectors or all the ferrule crimpers for big ferrules are, like square because they're not made for
Right.
DC, they're made for
Right.
AC.
Well,
You
the
know?
small ones are fine. The ones you can crimp, they're great.
Right. Well, but
But
there again, it's like
right.
even when you get the bigger hex
Yeah,
shaped
they're square.
crimpers for them, which I bought, they suck.
And I like them because the compression. That's why I like them. But I hate when you in order to get it to compress the way you want it. If you don't like some of the good ones will not do this, but every now and again, man, the cheap ones they just get mixed in. I don't know what the deal is, but it just goes straight through it, and it's like, why? Like I was specifically trying not to do this, and it happened, and it just ruined my whole day. It's like, to hell with this amp. It's done.
You're breaking my heart.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I know. I am also a ferrule lover, but there is some downsides to them sometimes.
Piezo tweeters are the best, man.
Piezo's, yeah, gotta have them behind
I
your
did
head.
have I
Your
did
truck
have
box.
I did have 4 piezo tweeters across the dash of one of my cars. Yeah,
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 perfect.
it was a lot of fun. Yeah, it
All
had
right.
a bunch of power going to them.
Of course, you would
No,
be
very
mean
little
if you
power.
didn't.
You could almost not even hear them.
All right.
Okay.
You already mentioned this earlier. Single seat tunes.
Yeah, that's great. They're fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of like 2-seat tunes
Why?
because if you have someone else riding with you,
Okay,
for one,
so I don't mind 2 presets. First things first, a 2-seat tune and a DSP that really can't do a 2-seat tune
yeah,
is utterly pointless. So that now you just have 2 mediocre sounding sound stages. Okay,
yeah,
because unless you get a really high-end DSP that has some, and you put a center channel in and do some form of up mixing, because it's stereo, there is no center.
oh
There
yeah,
is no center. So you have to balance the left and right so that both people are not exactly happy. More than likely your centers, you're gonna have a
yeah,
hard time. It's so this guy's gonna be looking like that and that guy's looking like that, or this guy the center is right in front of him and that guy the center is right in front of him, like in a BMW.
yeah,
So but those have like Harman systems in them that they got big ass DSP, so they can do anything they want. But the processing to do a really good 2C tune is not
yeah,
really there, and we see it's hard enough to get people to do a 1C tune.
yeah.
Now,
Well, see,
whatever works.
I'm also not a huge center image guy. Like, I'm more about the tonality of the sound. So it is nice when it's a centered image, but to me, sometimes I think people go way too far on a single centered image, and the tonality's bad. So it's like you can, I don't know. I mean, to me,
We
I
don't
would
have to
just
agree on this one, but if I sit in a car
right,
and the first thing I do is hear everything coming out of the corner of the dash, I'm
right,
getting the fuck out of the car. I don't care what the
yeah.
tonality is. I can't listen to it because that to me sounds like I'm listening to an AM radio with just one fucking
But
speaker, and
well,
I'm like,
you got to
no.
have a baseline. You can't. I mean, you're talking extreme one way or the other. I'm talking. You can get a happy medium in 2 seats where it's not perfect, but it's serviceable.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
but
I don't know. I just think, especially like for competition, I
yeah.
think that's something that should be introduced because it's harder to do. It's harder to get right.
Listen, if you read any of the comments that these goofballs were talking about with the competition, is that they don't even want to finish their installs. They don't want to be judged on install. Now you're going to try to
Yeah,
tell me you're going to judge them on a 2C tune? Are you crazy?
yeah,
Like they're happy in their own little world, man.
yeah.
You
Well,
know,
I'm trying to make it
and
harder.
I mean, it okay. So basic stereo that 90% of the people have, no DSP. They have a radio in the dash. They have 6 speakers or 8 speakers and a sub.
Yeah,
Okay, with no tone, with no delay whatsoever. They get in the car and everything sounds like it's coming from the driver's corner, possibly not really, but maybe somewhere a couple inches off of that. The passenger gets into the car and it sounds like everything's coming there again from the corner of the car. Okay,
yeah.
there you go. You got your 2C tune. This guy's miserable. That guy's miserable. Okay.
Dude, I've never listened. I've never been in a car even without a DSP that was pulling that hard one way or the other.
Every day.
Yeah,
Every day.
I mean, I've never sat in one, so that I don't have that experience. But
You know, we work on a lot of trucks. When you
yeah,
got a 4-foot difference between the left and right speaker, you know, you're not pulling the tweeter across the dash into the center without
right,
doing a ton of EQ. That's why these newer cars all have all pass filters and they have equalization to try to move that shitty sound from the corner over into
yeah,
the dash as cheaply as they can. And that's what those things do.
yeah,
So, I mean, they still sound like shit for the passenger because who gives a fuck? It's the passenger.
yeah,
You know, more than likely, if you have somebody in your car, okay, okay, if your wife is in the car, okay, when you get in the car, it's like my turn to
right.
drive. I'm gonna get in the car and drive. Do you guys jam on the stereo while you're going out to eat, or is the radio
Yeah,
playing in the background and you're talking about how your day was?
it's both, and this is why I hate because it's not in my car; it's in her car, and I'm riding in the passenger seat. So now
Okay,
I've
so
got
then
it
tune
single.
it for yourself on that. She's not gonna give a fuck.
Yeah, but she
She's
does
not gonna care.
for some reason she can tell I've done it. I've done it, and she's like,
Oh,
"My stereo sounds weird," and I was like, "Well, let me rerun the kicker software then." I tried to pull a fast one, and she wasn't going. I
hmm.
don't know how she knew. She didn't know what she was saying. She's just like, "My stereo sounds weird. Can you look at it?"
Yeah, there's something you did something.
Right, and she knew. She caught me red-handed. She didn't know what I did, but she caught me.
Well, but there again, like a kicker key is set to be a 1C tune,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
it is.
because most of the time when you're in the car, it's just you. It's just you.
Yeah,
Now I've had guys that are like, no, my wife is in the car all the time. I'm like, no problem, man. No problem. We'll do the best that we can to make it sound good for the two of you in the car. They're like, my wife is with me all the time and I want it to sound good for her. All right,
yeah.
we'll do what we can. One ears are better than
That's probably 100% true. That's uh,
sure. Go
all
with
right.
that.
Next one.
Yeah.
Let's see. Pioneer 80 PRS.
Oh, give me a break. That's not.
I know, dude. It was
That's such an
people are
overrated.
so into that still. And it's like they're talking to me like I've never had one. Like, dude, I've bought 6 or 7 of these since I came out new 2012. Like I
Which
did
is
love it
funny.
for
That just means how bad you are.
right. But you know, I was just doing different things at different times. I'd get pissed at it, sell it, and I'm like, I'd kind of like to have it back. And then, you know how it goes. But I'm done with them forever.
We got the best adult
I
dating
know.
sites. Yeah,
I
that
got
was
them.
quick.
Now they're on this one. They usually only hit us on side jag.
Yeah. Williams got that one. $5,000 system in a car, and you listen to podcasts. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
guys doing that. Yeah.
I'm
That's
one of
normal.
them. I'm one of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. That's the other reason why it's I've had my PRS 80 forever. LOL, looking for a decent replacement now as the LCD is fading. Just get another one.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
I
yeah,
mean,
no, look, there, there's, man, like I said, people don't like change. People,
yeah.
they're comfortable with them. They like the way they sound, whatever it is. I mean, dude, records are coming back for God's sakes.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, have you heard? Oh, they sound
That's a
so
hard
wrong.
truth to people they never want to hear. Like, yeah, it sounds worse. It sounds worse, guy.
No, it does. It
Yeah.
really does. That. Oh, but
Yeah.
that's what makes it sound good. No, that's what makes it sound bad.
No,
They
listen to that because that was the only way you could get the music.
Yeah, but the young kids are like doing it now, and it's like the pop and hiss and snap and crackle, and it's like in their Class D preamps for their record players, and you're just like, yuck.
It is. Get a tube amp, kid. What are you doing?
Yeah.
And throw away that 80 PRS. I don't care if you say it's for the DAC. You're a effing Basshead, bro. You're doing 150. The DAC doesn't matter anything to you. But they swear it
that
does.
Thing, it's got a DAC from 2012. It sucks.
I know.
I mean, come on. It's barely a DAC. It's like rubbing two sticks together to make fire.
All right, here's another one for you.
Ooh.
The JBL 4086.
I don't even know what a JBL 4086 is, so.
It's the DSP amp, the little 40 watts by 8.
Oh, Jesus. I got 2 of them.
I got one sitting right here.
I own 2 of them. Shit, I didn't even know the model number. Sorry, JBL. I love that thing.
Yeah, it's hot. It's a
It's
cool
hot.
little.
So, all right, we'll say this about it. For the price, you get exactly
Yeah.
what you pay for. You get exactly what you pay for. Is it the best? No. Does it have some flaws? Of course. Is the software solid? 100%. But there is some crosstalk issues, which you would expect at an amplifier at that price, and that does that much. And depending on how picky you are, that might bother you, because it's very hard to, like,
Well, you got to know what you've got when you get that.
yeah.
You don't go if you're going into it expecting a Helix level situation like that. That's not what you're getting here.
Yeah, you're not buying a prime amplifier here. You're buying a little JBL, waiting for real to make a real make a comeback.
So you can make a fortune. Been holding it this whole time.
I'm waiting for Laserdisc to come back.
Yeah, man, big CDs. Who didn't want
Yeah,
those?
I love mine. I got them all.
Oh, here's a good one.
Okay.
Cover panels to hide wire. With the asterisks of they're not doing clean wiring behind the panels. They're just doing like the most basic wire. Maybe not just scattered everywhere, but it's not like clean wire situation under there.
So if the flush pan, okay, so if the whole intent and purpose of the install is to look pretty, and you built pretty panels and to highlight, and it's just all part of it. And then the guy that comes in after and does a shitty install, or I'm sorry, not clean wire install.
Yeah.
It's what it is. It's not the end of the world. I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. If someone just threw some amps in somewhere and said, like, underneath the seat, and then like we've all seen in the Tahoes where they put amps underneath the seat and then they just grab a piece of particle board, cut 2 holes in it, slap some carpet on it,
and put it over all that.
And it's like, there you go, bro. They're flushed in. And it's like, no, they're flushed down the toilet, please. So I think there's 2 cases where it just depends on the type of install you have. I mean, when I built those things for the many years that I did that, no, as expected, if you took my install apart, you were like, holy crap. Like, I'll never see this, but why does it look so pretty? I mean, I had a friend of mine, a guy's still a friend this day. I talked to him this week. And the first time I met him, he called me because I had done a BMW for a client of his, and he had to service it. And he called me up and he's like, dude, like, I got to talk to you. And I go, okay, why? He goes, no, like, I need to meet you. And I go, oh, okay. Well, I'm at, AVE, come see me anytime you want. And so he comes by one day and he's like, I just got to see how you work. And I was like, why? He goes, I'm like, what, dude, who the fuck are you? And why are you weird? He's like, no, he goes, the M3. I go, yeah. He goes, that's my client. I go, oh, nice. And he goes, we did all the mods on his car, and he brought it by to show me the trunk. And naturally, I had to dig into it to see what the hell you did. And he's like everything was like, all the wiring was perfect. And I was like, you looked at the wiring? Because you couldn't see any of it. Like, it was all hidden. Like, you didn't even know there was an amplifier in the car. All we showed was like the subwoofer. And he's like, oh yeah, no. He goes, dude, that was so cool. He's like, I can't tell you how many cars I've had to take apart, and like, I can't take them apart. And I was like, all right. But and then I had installers, and I would build something and they would wire it up. Yeah. And I'd go back in there and I'd be like, this isn't how this is supposed to. I built these channels here for you to run the wires. Oh no, this was easier. I'm like, no, this is so that we can service it if we need to at any. All right, I get it. Not letting you guys wire up any more of my shit. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So. All right. Next on the list. Oh, okay. Before I say this one, just know, Bill, if you're watching, we do love you, Bill. Kicker, if you're watching, we love you. So now, let's get into it. Square loudspeakers. Square PA speakers, whatever you want to call them, pro speakers.
So DS18 had those out to market long before Kicker, right?
Yeah. They probably seen that they were going to do it, and or got some kind of inside information. Was like, oh, we'll just do it right
All
now.
right, I'm just gonna say not.
Not, yeah, it's not cool.
It's
Like,
not cool.
yeah,
It's stupid.
it's like,
I mean,
I
I get it. I get it.
right.
I would have done the same thing.
It's the gimmick, and
Oh, totally. I mean,
yeah,
and there again, I would have done the same exact thing. I would not do anything different, but that doesn't
yeah,
mean I have to like it.
right,
And I think
yeah,
I've said as much. When they asked me, I said, listen, I would have done the same thing, but I wouldn't have done it.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. And
you know.
when I first seen them, long before they're announced, I can't remember who, but I really worked someone over on those. When I seen them in person, I was like, "Oh
All
my
those
gosh,
triangle
guys!"
subs are crap. Well, it was funny too because when they started when we first started getting we're coming out with the Solo X shit, long before we did all that hype for them many
Yeah,
years ago. 30% more voice call. Just get them around. And they told me we're gonna be doing this, and I was
yeah.
like, oh shit, really? And then they told me all the other shit they were doing, and then the last thing they told me about, because I was a smart ass and said, dude, next thing you're gonna tell me you're gonna come out with some loud mids and highs that are square, and they gave me this look like
Like,
you
damn.
signed that NDA, so fuck you, buddy. And I was like, wait, whoa, come back. Wait, you're joking, right? You're gonna really? Yeah. Oh shit.
Don't leave me like this.
Yeah, I was like, you're kidding. And I was like, but Steve said, and they're like, yeah, Steve changed his mind. He can do that. We're human. We can change our mind. I was like, no. Oh my. I'm like, come on, man. Like,
Yeah,
want to see some pictures? And I go, no.
yeah,
I can visualize. I can visualize.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't need it. I know what a car looks like when it hits a train. You don't have to show me the video.
uh,
But to be fair, they're gonna do well. They're expensive, so they're not gonna do overly well. They're gonna do probably as good as Rockford has had with their
right.
loudspeakers. Limited success, but it's just a necessary evil. They do well somewhere.
Yeah.
Uh, I will say I don't know how they sound, so I'm not gonna speak to no,
Oh
I
yeah,
don't.
you
They don't.
yeah.
I don't know. The
My
idea to me is just kind of like.
Well, and my argument's not about the sound. I think they're gonna sound fine, as any of them do. It's just yeah, just a square.
Well, the nice thing too, like the Rockfords, dude, those things sound like really good for a
Yeah,
loudspeaker.
I
Dude, I've
heard they
done
did.
some of those, and
Yeah,
it's like, holy shit, yeah, these are the bomb.
yeah,
But
and they
they're
cost a little bit of
expensive.
coin too. Yeah, they
Well,
cost
yeah.
some
Well,
coin
it's
to
just
get.
like the Hertz SPL shows. They're very nice also, but yeah, you're paying for them.
Right.
Yeah, they ain't $35 by the pound speakers.
Yeah. Let's see here. Okay, we'll end on this one.
Okay.
Spade terminals for speaker connections.
As opposed to
Just wire down. Like,
just like
yeah, just
oh
like a bare
what
wire connection.
oh
Or like a one that'll accept a Faro versus Spade
I'd
terminals.
much rather do something that accepts a ferrule or has like a Phoenix style connector that is
Right.
encapsulating the wire.
Mm-hmm.
Like the one thing I always laugh at is when I see like over ferrules, man, like over ferruled. When you have a
You're
Phoenix
right.
connector or you have like some of these amplifiers that have a proper terminal where it's a
Yeah, like
C that
Rockford
pulls it.
Fosgate.
Yeah, Fosgate.
Uh,
Um, there again, the Phoenix stuff.
mm-hmm.
Like they don't need ferrules.
Right.
They create their own really solid connection that ferrule actually sucks
Yeah.
in one of those because it like they just look stupid. And I see those, I go, the only reason why they're doing that is because some idiot's like, you're gonna put ferrules on there, and it's like,
They seen it.
no, I'm
Yeah.
not.
Well, they kind
Um,
of, when you do them, and then they kind of go like,
yeah, they fan out, yeah,
yeah,
and they
yeah.
look stupid. I
I'm not
like
going to say it's hot on my end, but it's not the end of the world. It's like you can crimp some Spade connectors on it. It's okay. But some of them are like weird sides. Like they want a very specific small. It's
yeah.
like, my God, just make it the standard if you're going to do it. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah. So here's the dilemma I always have with the Spade terminal. And it's usually like a passive crossover. So I have a passive crossover that has this piece that's going to do this. And
Yeah.
it's 2 pieces of like some kind of treated metal. And then I'm going to take a different type of metal and I'm going to screw it underneath that. And then I'm going to take a little tiny hole and I'm going to crimp it and maybe solder it, which is there again a different kind of metal, but that's okay. So it's like I have 3 points of connection now for an inch of space.
Yeah.
It's like, is that really necessary?
Right.
Like, I don't like using them. Like, I don't use
Yeah.
them that much anymore because it's
Yeah.
like, in my mind, I go, if it's gonna fail, it's there's too many failure points within that inch for it to not fail at some point.
Right.
You know, whereas if
right.
I just put the wire underneath that's it. It's one connection done.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
So to me, you know, if we're talking like a power wire, yeah, you got a fork terminal. But we're talking speaker wires, then it's like, I don't know, man. I feel like
and if it's on the power wire, I'm like, it sucks.
well, that's the 802.5, baby.
I know.
Yeah, I don't mind that. Now on a power
Yeah.
wire, I'm actually that's where it's like I don't mind those type terminals on power wire, and I know everybody hates them, but I
Yeah.
also look at it like for that same reason when you're torquing that screw down and it pokes a hole through the wire. You
Yeah.
don't have that when you're using a fork terminal,
Right.
but you also can grab a fork terminal and go like this and
That's the
loosen it up and
thing.
pull it out. So
I've never had one fall out on me, but the fear is always there when you have a power connection like that. The fear is
Dude,
there.
man, let me
Like,
tell you
damn,
what,
if it's not perfect, like in something
if
going.
I will never have I have never had that problem ever. But I also know my wire is not going to move a millimeter, so
Yeah.
you got nothing to worry about if I
Yeah.
put it in.
And on mine, I've never had it happen, but I still have concerns.
Yeah.
All right. So what you got going on, man? We got about 3 minutes left.
Tomorrow we're releasing a car we have heard video. One of the guys that's always on Instagram, this guy by the name of Chris that works at Amp Global. He's one of the Phantoms in Texas. When we were out in Dallas, we had the opportunity to sit in his charger. He has a Audio Frog audio control system in it. So we got a chance to take a look at that, sit down, talk with him about it. He's got the new High 10 kit in it. He gives us a quick demo. So that video comes out tomorrow. Then Saturday we'll be in Orlando doing some training we're being hired by JVC to do some training. So we probably won't be doing any live show because we have to do this. So it's kind of weird because it's like we don't have to do any filming. We're not there for cameras. We're there to just. So we're gonna shoot a travel video in the background just because why not? It's fun.
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah, and then we built a bunch of little displays for this that are really different. It's kind of exciting because they tasked us with here's these things, do something. So we're gonna film a video about those, just what it is they had us do, and so that everyone can kind of take a look at it because it's one of those things that we did and we're super proud of because like we don't always get an opportunity to work with. We work with a lot of manufacturers, but not on this side of things.
Right.
So, we had it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of stress. Like I've been up every night and been up extra late and in every morning early for like the last week and a half. Because there was a shit ton of laser time, tons of design time. No custom.
Yeah. And we're gonna be next week. No show, right?
No, next week we got a show.
But then the week after, no.
The week after, no. So next week we'll be doing a show because we don't leave until Monday morning. So.
Oh, okay. All right. Great.
Yeah, we're good
then.
Yeah.
All right. So, well, I have the Final Four video coming out on the cheap Subwoofer shootout. So
very cool.
We'll see what the people choose. I have my
March Madness has been over for a long time.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm starting this. We're doing the Subwoofer madness.
Yeah, I know, but it's like, they get that over in a month, man.
Yeah. Well,
People complain when I do nine videos in a series, man. Jesus
right.
Christ.
I know. Hey, you come make the video then. If you don't like it, you guys do the stupid video.
Okay.
No. Yeah, I know. Yeah. It's a pain.
5-star news at 9:00 tomorrow. Yep, finally on Dean and Fernandez Car Stereo Clips.
Yeah.
So tune in for the news in the morning. We'll be there.
And if you want to see us talk about some movie stuff, just click the link.
Yep, we got interesting stuff to talk